Well, good evening, everyone. This is John Unell, aka John I Fly, from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania. And it's March the 6th, and it's 17 minutes after 11 Eastern Standard Time, soon to be Daylight Savings Time next weekend. But anyway, just wanted to get on and share some things with you. I noticed the past few days there are signs of spring in the air, so that kind of lifts my spirit because it's my favorite season of the year. So that's a good thing. And before I share what's been going on in Russia, I want to share some good news first. I mean, I could have started out with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but I figured we'd start out with some good news first, and that's what our wonderful president has done. I'm telling you, I don't know how anybody can say he's not doing his job after you see what the job figures was from February. Total, now this is a total non-farm payroll employment. It rose by 678,000 jobs in February. That's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that's saying something. Now the pandemic is, of course, is going down. Finally, we're on the downswing. So I'm sure that helps. But this is under President Joe Biden. Remember that. Okay? I don't think you'd ever see anything like that under Donald Trump. But we know what he did for 4 years, and it was nothing really, except cause chaos and confusion and hatred and whatever. But the unemployment rate was edged down to 3.8%. 3.8%. Now the gains were in leisure and hospitality, professional and business services, and healthcare and construction. Those were the main jobs that opened up. And yes, I could see, especially for healthcare, we baby boomers are getting up there, you know. I like to think I'd be young forever, but it doesn't work that way. And with getting older, of course, you have to deal with different things. I've been dealing with some stuff of late. And of course, you have to go to the doctor and get these tests, and oh well, has to be done so they can find out what's going on. But anyway, that sounds pretty good for a president that's going into his second year now. It's a lot more than what we can say for Donald Trump. So that's good news. And of course, spring is not far away. I think it'll be the 20th. Today's the 6th, so in 2 weeks it'll be spring. Yeah, officially. Now, the not so good news. Of course, you're all aware of what's been happening over in Ukraine with Vladimir Putin just taking it upon himself to just invade another country. He feels Ukraine is his. However, it's not as easy as he thought it would be. He's facing quite a bit of resistance. But what ticks me off is how Putin can indiscriminately bomb civilians. I saw today in the news one man who lost 5 members of his family, and the one was a friend of his wife. His wife was only, I believe, 42 or 43, somewhere around there. Can you imagine that? I mean, I could see Putin bombing military things, installations, and he said, "Oh, I'm not bombing civilians. I'm bombing military institutions." But boy, if that's not a lie, I don't know what is. No wonder Donald Trump likes Putin, because Donald Trump's a liar himself. So what's that saying they had years ago, and they still mention it? Birds of a feather flock together. Well, I think that's the case with Donald Trump and Putin. I think they've been in bed together for quite a while. It's amazing. Now, from what I remember, there's a convoy of tanks, etc., and trucks. I believe there's like they said it went 40 miles long. But they're not having it as easy as they thought they would. They thought they'd take Kiev by now. And the Ukrainian people are putting up a fight. I'll tell you what, they have a hell of a lot more courage than some people I've seen in the Congress, I'll tell you that much. I mean, that takes a lot. You have to be really sold out to your country and appreciate. I'll tell you what, those people appreciate freedom because now they're facing losing it. And I personally think we should help them in some way. Now, they don't want to do a no-fly zone because of the possibilities of them shooting down a Russian fighter, and then, of course, that would be World War III. Well, I still think as a leader of the free world, and I would like to think that we're still the leader of the free world, that we should stand up for freedom when it's challenged. And not only in Ukraine, yes, we see a big threat there, but also in our own country. We have people, Republicans, that have pushed voting laws, restrictions, I should say, in laws, that's going to make it harder for people to vote, particularly like black people, Latinos. How many states, I don't know if it's 30-some states or whatever, already have these laws passed. You want to talk about taking away freedom little by little, that's it right there. But anyway, I think it would be great if we at least sent some fighter jets over to President Zelensky in Ukraine. I believe they're Soviet-style fighter jets that Ukrainian pilots know how to fly. They need to do something. I mean, to just sit at your TV all the time and see the atrocity that's going on. I can't fathom it. I look at this and I'm thinking, the world's standing by watching all this going on. Now people are starting to, they're starting to save, I guess, whether it's money or clothes or food or whatever. They're getting stuff together to send over there. It's going to be a challenge even to send it over there, but like my mom used to say, where there's a will, there's a way. So we've got to do it, people. We've got to do it. Help them out. I know CNN has a website. I believe it's cnn.com/impact. That's one place you can go to, is cnn.com/impact. IMPACT. You might want to check that out. There's different categories there that you can give, donate, or what have you to help the Ukrainian people. They need it right now. I mean, they don't have an air force, no planes. And I believe they have rocket launchers, shoulder rocket launchers or whatever. They've been making some hits, and that's good. But they need more help. If any time in history we need the world united to help a democracy that's under attack, it's now with Ukraine. I'm glad to see people, they're flying the Ukrainian flag and they're out there in the streets. Yes, we support Ukraine. We're behind you. Now, it's wonderful to see that, but it's also good to see some action, too. Let's put some teeth into what our words are. Go and help them out in any way that you can. Look it up on the internet. I'm sure you'll find some organizations that are working to help these people out. It's a war crime. I don't care what they say. What Putin is doing is a war crime. War crimes, I should say, that he's doing quite a bit. He needs to be stopped. As simple as that. And another thing, and I'll bet you if this was over here, Donald Trump would love it. And that's having to do with the media. Vladimir Putin just signed into a new law on Friday, the 4th of March. And the law, it says here, it may criminalize legitimate reporting. Saying you have to watch what words you say too. You can't use the word war. Oh no, that's not popular with Vladimir Putin. You could earn a possible prison sentence of 15 to 20 years. Imagine that, saying the wrong word that Pootie Boy doesn't want you to say. Now, this was mentioned on Brian Stelter's show, and today. He signed it into law on Friday, and it is a possible 15-year sentence. Just for saying something that he doesn't want you to say. He wants control over his people because he knows his time is limited. I really believe that. He's not too well liked with some people. You can't tell me that they all like him in Russia. But they're afraid. They can't. They have to watch what they say. They have to watch what they do. Look at all the protests. I think today, the protesters in cities all across Russia, they were arrested, hauled in by the police, over 4,500 and some, I believe it was. Imagine that, just for protesting. You don't even have to say anything. You can be standing there holding up a sign, and you get your ass dug in and put in jail. Imagine that. And they could follow them for the rest of their lives, too. I tell you, people, we ought to be grateful for the freedoms that we have in this country. I think if some of our past veterans that have passed on would see what's going on with our government today, with how the right-wing extreme nutjobs, Congress people, and state members, senators, I should say, if they saw what they're doing and how they're trying to screw up our democracy, they'd turn in their graves. They'd be spinning in their graves. We can't let it happen, people. This year, the primaries, we got to make sure we go out and vote. I say it every time I get on here, but we got to get out and vote. Our very freedoms depend on it. So, trust me, when you see freedoms being eroded, like the freedom of speech, don't just think it's affecting those people over there. It could have happened to us, too. We've seen that by Trump trying to overturn the elections. That's a bold, very bold, and as far as I'm concerned, criminal thing that he did. And it's treasonous. They need to finish this investigation, the January 6th investigation. And it doesn't look good for Trump, They found evidence. There's no question about that. So hopefully in the coming weeks we'll have the public hearings. I'm going to be interested in seeing what happens there. I'll be watching it. Anyway, that's about it for tonight. I'm running short on time here. Anyway, I don't have that much phone on my, space on my phone. But anyway, thanks a lot for taking the time to listen and watch. Remember, on YouTube I go as John I Fly. That's JOHNI, F as in Frank, L as in Love, Y. Or on Facebook, I go by my real name, John R. Unell. That's UNELL. Feel free to subscribe and like my videos. Comment too. Very important you comment. I'd like to know how you feel about some things and what you have to say. I do read them all. So again, take care of yourself. Thanks again for watching, and hey, have a great upcoming week. Okay, until next time, take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.